Instagram over here. So thank you all for joining me today. This is a Natural Shift TV. This is at our regularly scheduled time, last one of the summer season. We're kind of taking the summer off and going to just enjoy, I guess, a more laid back schedule, but we'll definitely still be on giving you great information, tips around wellness, health in general. And we always love to hear from you to see what you would like to see. But today, I had a very special topic, and it was sparked by something that I went to, an event that I went to on Sunday. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. But first, I wanted to mention something that you may want to join in on if you are not already a part of it. So myself and my sister, we have what's called our learning group, and we'll get in there and do various topical videos on natural health, natural living, different things like that, mostly focused on essential oils. So if you guys would like to be a part of that, I'm going to, for Instagram, just send me a message and I can get you added on there. And for Facebook over here, I'm going to put the link to the group whenever I get off. Let me make a little reminder about that. Okay, I'm going to post the link and you can join via that link. So we would love for you to join us over in that group. We're going to be doing lots of different topics such as skincare, cooking with essential oils, outdoor tips, bug spray, sunscreen, things like that, non-toxic options for those. And then we're also going to be doing first aid. So those are the 4 topics for June, and we may continue it into July as well, just depending on how that goes. So that was a little opportunity I wanted you guys to know about. But on to our topic today. Julie was with you last week. I'm not sure, I think that she had picked out a topic for this week, but I said, hey, I'm just going to go with something that is fresh on my mind, fresh on my heart, and so something that I wanted to share with you guys that I feel like will be impactful for somebody at least. Whether it's one person, I feel like somebody needs to hear this today. So I wanted to tell you about this cool event that I went to on Sunday. It was called the Brunch Series, and Danica Briska and her boyfriend, they kind of went on a tour. They are making, I think, like 60 stops at different in different towns at different people's homes that have been host homes to them. And the event that they put on is all about just body positivity. It's about learning how to eat mindfully, how to love yourself, how to be just on the best journey for you. And it's not like an event I've ever been to. And so I was hugely impacted by it. And I just had a revelation that so many more women need to talk about what's really going on behind the reason that maybe they are not doing the things they want to do. They can't get the results they want to in their terms of results, whatever that looks like for them. There was just a lot of things that were shared that were eye-opening to me, and just a great reminder that there's always an underlying issue to anything. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. So I have just had so many, women in I would say even longer than 5 years that I've been kind of on this path. I've been on this path a lot longer than 5 years, but just so many people that I've overheard talking have come to me for questions. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I just don't know why I can't be at a certain weight, why I can't get rid of a certain issue that's going on. Why? They just can't understand. And of course, there are various reasons why these things don't happen in the time frame that we have. But I feel that there is a huge underlying reason why a lot of times we have failed attempts at certain things, more specifically related to ourself, as far as just like diet, exercise. Why can't we get on a health path that we want to be on? Why can't we get to a weight that we need to be at, or whatever it might be, along those type of lines? And I truly feel that it is because we self-sabotage ourselves. And we do that in a couple of different ways, and I'll kind of go into that in just a few minutes. But the reason why I feel that we do this is because we don't truly feel like we deserve to have whatever it is that we're going for, whatever that, is to be, feel a certain way or be at a certain weight or whatever it might be. There's lots of different things that it could be for you. But we really self-sabotage ourselves, like I mentioned, because we just don't feel like we deserve it. We don't feel like we're worth it. We're not worth the time. We're not worth the effort, all of those types of things. And, you know, that might seem sort of like, well, of course we're worth it. Why wouldn't we be, you know? But there are so many women that have lies that are running through their head. I think probably all women. I know I certainly do. I know a lot of the women that I've spoken with, when I look back, that was exactly what the reason was. At this event, there was so many things that were shared that fear and the lies that we tell ourselves is the underlying reason why we keep on making goals that are way too big, that are way too out of our reach. It's because we're secretly self-sabotaging ourselves because we don't feel like we're worthy to actually finish the program, actually have the results, have the happiness, whatever it is. So I just wanted to introduce that concept to you because I feel like it's something that is not talked about a lot, and it's something that it's definitely under there if you think about it. So just to kind of unpack this a little bit, I would just encourage you to think about all of the past things that have went on in your life that you feel like were failures, and think about if they were actually put in place to help you succeed or not. Were they put in place by somebody that really knew your situation and knew your needs? Or were they put in place by just, hey, this worked for someone else, I think I'm going to try it for myself. And it was way too big, way too out of your reach at the time. And so you were setting yourself up for failure. You just didn't know it. And the other person, obviously, that was helping you probably didn't mean to do that, but it's just something that happens a good bit. So first, we really have to come to the realization that this is what we're doing to ourselves. And this starts with realizing what the lies are that you're telling yourself. We all have lies that play in our head all day long, every day, a lot of times, if you think about it. So I would encourage you, as you think about, wow, maybe I am doing this to myself, write down a list of the thoughts that you have, and if they're true or not, if they're actually lies or if they are the truth. So what I would do would be to take a piece of paper and put one column that has truths in it and one column that has lies in it. And a lot of times you'll realize, wow, I actually was having all of these thoughts in my head that just simply are not true. For instance, I'm not worth being happy. I'm not worth the time and effort that it would take to put into changing whatever situation that I want to change. And this really doesn't necessarily only have to apply to health and wellness. It can definitely apply to like a career change or even parenting. Gosh, there's just so many lies that we tell ourselves. So I would start there. You know, what lies are you telling yourself? A lot of the things that came up in the event that I went to on Sunday was basically that they just are not enough. They don't have what it takes. They'll never be successful in such and such area. That's just not meant for them type of things. And I think if we all think about it, we probably thought that at one time or another, possibly still think it now. So just think about if you have that playing in your mind constantly, day in and day out, you're going to believe it because that's just constantly playing in your mind. And anytime, let's say you wanted to, lose some weight and you tried a new diet plan, but you already basically had these lies in your head before you started and you have an off day, you're going to tell yourself, oh, I knew I wasn't going to be good at this. I knew this wasn't going to work. It never works. Nothing ever works for me. I'm never going to be able to run with my kids and play. I'm never going to be able to fit into a certain size. All of these things, there's lots of different examples, but that will always hold you back until you realize that that is a lie. You're never going to move forward with things, with what you want, with the goals that you have, with happiness, with true happiness and wellness is what I would venture out to say. So realizing that you're doing this to yourself is the first step. The second step, I believe, is you have to lean into the truth. So when you have these two lists, you need to be focused on the ones that are true. you need to try to forget the lies as much as possible. Now, I know that's not going to happen overnight, but just simply realizing that they're lies, you're going to be more aware of it. So anytime that comes up, you're going to replace it with the truth. So if one of those things is, I just don't have what it takes, I'm never going to succeed. As soon as you think that, you're going to replace it with a positive thought. I have everything that it takes already within me to succeed. I am worth it. I am worth the time. Whatever it is to you, whatever the truth is for you, you're going to replace it with that. And the more that you become aware of this and the more that you replace it with a positive thought, things will change. I promise you. And maybe it might seem a little out there to you to think, wow, our mindset really does control so much of our actions and our life and just the path that we're on. But the more that you realize this and you change your mindset, you will realize when you do, and we're going to I'm just going to tell you this at the end of the call, but I'm going to do another call next week because I feel like this is a super important topic. I'm going to tell you how to set goals that you can actually achieve that don't self-sabotage yourself. One of those is setting them so small that they're foolproof. You can't mess it up, right? So when you actually do achieve that, that's going to be a positive reminder, oh, I can do this. You have to have small daily things that you achieve to then remind yourself, oh, you can do this, right? So that's kind of how it starts. It always has to start small, but it really does start with your mindset. Another thing is you're going to have to lean into the truth and love yourself right now as you are. Because a lot of times, this, like I said, this can go for so many different things, but we always think, oh, when I'm a certain size or when I'm at a certain point in my life, I'm going to be happy then. And we always live for the next moment. We always live for the future. Whenever our big dream comes true or our goals come true, we always live for that moment. But until you're happy with where you are right now, whether that's at your current job or it's at your current weight or whatever it is, until you're happy now, you will never be happy when that thing occurs. And I've seen this play out in my life so many different times. And I really have to work hard to stay present in the moment because I'm so much I love to set goals and I'm all about the future and what can I achieve, and that really excites me. But I was tending to live in the future only. And I was tending to hold some of my happiness of things that I had already achieved. What if you don't learn to live in the moment and you're always chasing that next goal, whether you're successful or not, right? It's great to be successful, and maybe you have gotten to a certain weight or you have gotten to a certain goal that you had, but then you're always chasing the next one. You're really not as happy as you thought you would be because you haven't practiced being present in the moment. So that is something that can relate to so many different areas of your life, but definitely in health and wellness. You have to be happy with where you are and what you look like right now. It can't be always about when I look a certain way or when I weigh a certain thing or when I can wear a certain pair of pants, whatever it is. There's so many different things you could, put in that sentence. So that's a really, really important thing. And learning what's the difference between the truth and the lies is really going to help you with living in the present moment and being happy with where you are right now. So in conclusion, you just have to change the tune that keeps on playing in your head. If you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do it, you won't. And if you're constantly making goals and setting intentions for yourself that you don't meet, you won't ever get there. It's because the fundamentals aren't in place. You don't truly believe that you're worth it. You don't truly believe that investing the time and effort that it takes to make those things happen. Because if you want real change, it's not going to be easy. It is, but it's not. You're going to have to put in the work. The actual things that you do may be easy. That's what kind of goes back to the foolproof way of setting goals, is that you have to make them achievable. They're so easy to do, but they're so easy not to do. You have to do the small things that then add up to big things. And I truly believe that God will not give us, me, you, anybody, the bigger things that we want until we're faithful in the small things. So we have to be faithful in the things that we set out to do every day that's going to create really big change and lasting change. And that's when we really can step into the life that He wants for us. He wants us all to be happy and healthy and and have all these big dreams and goals that we have for ourselves, no matter what area of your life it's in. He wants all that for us, but he's not going to give that to us until we're really faithful in the small things. So I hope this has been helpful for somebody. You know, I just feel like this was on my heart and somebody out there needed to hear it. So whether you're on live or watching the replay, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram, I hope that this just kind of stuck with you. Something about this stuck with you. If you find that you keep thinking of somebody like, oh, they need to hear this, tag them. People need to hear this. Women, especially women, we tend to just really stay stuck in this. And I just want you all to know something. You are worth it. You're worth the time. You're worth the effort. You're worth putting all of that into making yourself just better. We want to better ourselves. I want to become whatever, you know, the person that God wants me to be. Whatever that is for you, you're worth that. You're worth going through some of the hard times to get to that happiness. But it has to start now, and it has to start with knowing that you're worth it, and that it starts from the little things. And really, it starts right up here. What are you believing and what are you telling yourself day in and day out? So again, like I said, this really was supposed to be the last scheduled Natural Shift TV that we call it. We usually have one every week on Wednesdays at 12:30. But I wanted to extend that one more week and do a kind of follow-up to this in how to set goals that actually you can achieve, that you don't self-sabotage yourself by just creating these big goals that are almost impossible to achieve. And so you don't do it. So I wanted to come back on the same time, same place next week. And I'm definitely going to be on Instagram as well. So if you'd like to join me over there, please feel free to do that again. So join me next week. Share this with somebody that needs it, because I can promise you there are a lot of people that need this. And it's not just about being a certain size. It's not about looking a certain way. It's about loving yourself. And that can impact way more than your health. I promise you. It will impact your happiness, your in all aspects of your life, and your wellness in general. And that really encompasses, you know, more than just your weight. It's not about that. So anybody that comes to me and says they want to lose weight, I know that they do, but it has to start somewhere else. It can't start even by what they eat. It has to start here, and it has to start here. So that's actually what we help people do through wellness planning, is realize that they have to lay the foundation first, and they have to be working on their mindset and what they're doing in a daily basis that is actually self-sabotaging yourself, because you have to break that cycle before you can move forward. So if anybody is interested in that, I'm definitely willing and ready to talk to you about that on an individual level. But I feel like this is definitely something that I want to talk about more on here, just because I feel like it's so fundamental to our whole life, but definitely our wellness in general. So anyway, great to be with you today. I hope you enjoyed the topic. Please share it with somebody that needs to hear it if you feel so inclined to. And I look forward to seeing you next week at this time, but then also throughout the summer. I know Julie's going to have lots of good things that she wants to share. I'm sure she'll be at the grocery store sharing a few of her tips there. I know you guys love those videos, and I do as well. I learned so much from her. So anyway, great to be with you. I hope you have a great start to your summer, a great week so far, and we will see you next time.